Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at McFarlane's Sub-Zero Scorpion. Mortal Kombat. Why did I say Scorpion? Because I was just thinking about the figure I just reviewed, and what a piece of garbage that was. You think this one's going to be any better? I don't know, but Scorpion was a total piece of garbage, so I'm really hoping this one's better, though I don't think it is. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 18.5 centimeters, which makes him pretty close to 7¼ inches. If you want to see what he looks like up against his yellow counterpart, let me grab him, and there you go. They are kissing. Now they are about the same size, and that is what they should be. And if you're curious what they look like up against, let's say, I don't know, a Marvel Legends figure, they're totally out of scale. They're not supposed to be in scale. What are you thinking? And if you're curious what they look like up against like a Storm Collectibles figure, which is not technically the same scale, but pretty close, let's put them in a similar pose and see. I'm not breaking my pose on that guy for this figure, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, they're pretty much in the same scale. The McFarlane ones are probably not quite exactly the same scale, but pretty darn close. So if you're into that sort of thing, now you know they're similarly scaled, but these figures are trash, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, back to the review. I think I just broke that one. Oh well. Okay, so this guy does look better at first glance, by far, compared to Scorpion. Mostly, but only kinda sorta. So here's the thing. Look at his proportions, look at his body. Does that look normal to anybody? Look at the size of his waist and his feet and his legs compared to his upper body. Now, I understand that sometimes liberties are taken. Like Storm, for example, their first batch of Mortal Kombat ninjas had relatively large upper bodies, but it was done in a way that I didn't prefer it, but it made sense. This does not make sense. His feet are so tiny. His legs are so long and skinny. His waist, look at all the stuff that's on his waist, and it's still too skinny. It's like he has no lower torso or crotch area at all. It just hourglass down to nothing, and then it doesn't really flare back out except for the fact that he's knock-kneed and his legs flare out to the side. There's no size. It's really weird looking. If you looked at it from only the waist up, and I'm going to show you that right now, it doesn't look bad. You would see that and think, hey, man, that looks alright, that's not too bad. But then as you go like this, what the heck? It's goofy as hell. It's really goofy looking. So that's a big problem. I will say though, the paint job's much cleaner and much more consistent on this guy. The blue is basically the same blue everywhere. The silver and black accents around are pretty darn clean. Like, it's really nice looking in some places. Very well done. All the way around in there. Up here, the buckles, everything looks pretty clean. I'll give him that. The head on this guy, infinitely better than Scorpion's head, because he actually has a head first of all, but the detail work on it is very nice. The paint work, very, very clean. I like that a whole bunch. So yeah, this guy is not without some benefits for sure, which makes him far better than Scorpion, because Scorpion was a giant pile of garbage and didn't have any benefits to it really, other than the gold paint they used. So yeah, this guy in some ways looks a lot better. His skin tone is totally different, but it's still solid plastic that's shiny and not well sculpted, so that's not great. But the face, I'll tell you what, that head right there, I really, really, really like that face paint sculpt and everything. And then like I said, the accents help this guy a lot. So yeah, it definitely has terrible proportions and it looks long and skinny and not good, but there are some redeeming qualities to this guy. So I will give the aesthetic rating on this guy a 6 out of 10. It does have some benefit to it. I do want to point out, I designed a shoulder setup like this for this kind of armor for my action figure line well before this game was announced. Now I think they stole mine. It's not that similar, but it's kind of similar, and I'm sure they didn't actually steal it, but it's oddly similar to this, like incredibly similar, and I definitely designed it before this game even got announced or came out. So there's that. Okay, on to the accessories. This guy has 2 frosty axes, which are made out of cool blue, and he's got a frosty skull and spinal column made out of also a really cool blue. And then he has a display stand, which is only acceptably okay. So 5 out of 10, I guess. Guess that's okay. No fist hands or anything. Do they only fight with weapons in this new game? Because if that's the case, then okay. But I can't believe that's the case. So they have no fist hands to do martial arts stuff with. So that's a thing. He also has, weapons on his body which are permanently connected to his body and curved because they're connected to his body. So that's definitely a bummer. Okay, on to the articulation. This guy's not really any better than Scorpion in this regard, but it's a little bit different for the head because the head is actually, oh god, well, didn't plan that. So the head's on the floor. Now you can see the ball peg where the neck connects, which is okay, but look how recessed it is. This is foreshadowing. Look how recessed it is and how shapely the hole is. Guess how much range you're gonna get out of the neck. Are you guessing while I pick this up? I hope you've guessed. Quickly in the comment section below, guess how much range the neck is gonna have. I'll give you a second. Okay, I'm gonna put it on and show you. Because yeah, there's technically a neck in here that moves inside this part, but they decided to connect this part to the head. So when you try to move it, you can't. There's no range, virtually no range. Who is designing these things? How are they being paid to do this? It's amazing to me. Like there's no, it's an action figure. What the hell? It's incredible. All right, onto the shoulders. Same as Scorpion, you have a ball peg that connects to the torso just like Storm Collectibles, except there's no range. The cap doesn't help anything in there because there's nowhere to move. So the butterfly joint is basically just a wiggly shoulder. At least on this guy, oh crap, I can't move it. Will this one move? So this one's really loose, this one's too tight. This one does have some range though, so that's better. Better than Scorpion for sure. Bicep swivel is in there, it's okay. Double jointed elbow, that's okay. Wrists, ball hinge, that's perfectly functional, that's okay. Torso is still utter garbage crap. You can't do anything with it. This one, you can't even really rotate it. I mean, you can, but you have to bend these. So then you can rotate it, but it's still basically worthless. You can't move the torso really at all, especially considering that they have a big seam right there where it looks like it should be articulation. It doesn't work, so that sucks. All right, on to the hips. You can technically bring the hips out. They fight you because of all this stuff going on, but it does work. So you can bring the hips out to the side, so I'll give them a little bit of credit there. Still looks really weird, but you can. The way they sculpted it, it looks like the hip joint is all the way down here. Even though it's up there, it's still weird. Still very weird. Okay, bringing the legs forward. Yeah, you can get them up, forward, and back a decent amount, so that's okay. Do you get a thigh swivel? One that doesn't really work. You do get one down here, though, so that's okay. Double jointed knee is not going to work very well if you do the bottom part first. Can I do the top part first, please? It's not going. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh boy, is that stiff, is what she said. It works fine if you do the top part first. That's okay. Golly. All right, and then the ankles are a straight up ball hinge, so you have plenty of range there. Even though the feet are tiny, they work, and the toe hinge is terrible. So articulation on this guy, definitely better than Scorpion. So I'll give it like a 4 out of 10, because the head doesn't work, the chest doesn't work. I guess the rest is okay. I'll give it a 5. Okay, 5 out of 10 for the articulation. All right, final verdict on this guy. He's definitely better than Scorpion, and not just because I like Sub-Zero better than Scorpion, but because Scorpion is a terrible piece of crap, and this guy is just not very good. So I'm going to give this guy a final verdict of 3 out of 10. It has some redeeming qualities, where I guess if you pose him just right and don't look at him too close, it's still going to look decent on a shelf. Scorpion is just disgusting to look at in every way, and this guy has definitely some redeeming characteristics. Honestly, if you just pop the head off and just kept that as your collectible, you have about 90% of the good stuff right there. So you could do that. But yeah, not a good batch of figures from McFarlane. Honestly, even if YouTube doesn't end and I still have to keep doing reviews and stuff, I'm not reviewing any more crap from them. Their figures are just terrible. I don't know what happened. They did such a good job with the Halo lines back when they had them, before Halo 4 anyway. And now it's just like, it's a joke. It's like they don't want to do this, but they're doing it anyway. And they're not even trying. Or they're trying and have no idea what they're doing, but either way. How do you design a... Whatever. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you probably should, because I have new videos out on my channel just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel waiting for you to watch, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.